Hey guys, I feel like I've been covering a lot of PC news about Borderlands 3 lately, so I wanted to give console players a dedicated video covering just their news. Before I get into that though, let's talk about Amino, who is today's video sponsor. Amino is a free app that you guys can go and download right now to get exclusive videos from me. I already have 2 videos up on their platform, one covering the returning characters in Borderlands 3, and the other is just an intro for the game. The stories on Amino are a mix of Instagram stories and YouTube videos. They are fast-paced content, but with the normal production of a YouTube video. To check out both my videos, go to my Amino profile with either the link in the description or by using the link in the pinned comment. My channel is at Hayder. Then once you download the app, you can go to the search bar and search my channel and watch my videos. Amino and I have actually partnered to host a $50 Steam gift card giveaway. It's still going on, and all you have to do to enter is 1. Follow me on Amino, 2. Comment and like my story, and then 3. Vote on the poll at the end of the story. You can double your chances of winning if you comment and vote on both my stories. So even if you've already entered for the first video, you can go back to their app and get a second entry, and the winners will be picked on August 20th. Okay, moving on, let's start with the size of the game itself. The approximate size of Borderlands 3 on console was released on the Microsoft Store, and it looks like the game will be 39.98 gigabytes. Just for the sake of comparison, the Handsome Collection, which includes Borderlands 2, Borderlands the pre-sequel, and all the DLC for both games is 45.07 gigabytes on the Microsoft Store. So it's safe to say that this game will be way bigger than previous games in every way, not just in size, but also in the attention to detail and quality of the content. And also make sure that you have enough space on your console to download almost 40 gigs just for this one game. Another interesting piece of information comes from PC Gamers N. A few months ago, they released an article that flew completely under my radar, and it was after one of the first Borderlands 3 announcement trailers was released. And split screen was shown in the trailer itself from the 47-second mark to the 51-second mark. So this was the first time that we had seen split screen in game, and PC Gamers N got curious about what platform split screen would be available on and reached out to 2K for clarification. 2K actually responded with this statement saying, quote, "Borderlands 3 will support 2-player split screen on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One." Which is great for console players, but notice there's no mention of PC. Split screen functionality isn't usually added in PC versions of games, but I know there is a small market of people who do like it and would have appreciated if it was added, and it looks like Borderlands 3 will not have this feature. So if you do want to play split screen, you will have to use a console. Then we got a huge interview between PlayStation and Borderlands 3, and they talked about optimizing the game not only for just the traditional PlayStation console, the PS4, but also the PS4 Pro. And here are some of the highlighted questions. Obviously, if you want the full discussion, I'll link that down below. So the PlayStation blog said, quote, "What are the key differences in building the game for PS4/PS4 Pro when compared to previous console generations?" Scott Velasquez said, "The PS4 is an amazing console, but the PS4 Pro takes things to another level and allows us to push the game further by running at higher resolutions and higher frame rates. This is great because hardware in previous console generations was static for the entire generation, which, as a developer, was unfortunate, because we always wanted to keep pushing the envelope further and further. Sony has done a great job this generation to make it easy on us as game developers." They continued on by asking, quote, "Does Borderlands 3 support 4K and/or HDR? If so, can you share any specific ways the game showcases these technologies?" Scott Velasquez responded saying, quote, "Yes, Borderlands 3 supports both 4K and HDR output. And in fact, we allow you to configure them individually, which means you can play the game in 1080p HDR if you really wanted. With 4K and HDR enabled, the game looks amazing. Everything from the weapon in your hands to enemies to the FX from combat look especially crisp and detailed in this mode. Nightfall is rendered in much darker blacks, and the killer skyboxes really put you in the world that the team has built. If your display is capable, you'll want to play around with these settings for sure." They continue on saying, quote, "Will there be different graphical / display modes for players to choose between?" Scott responds again saying, quote, "Yes, players will be able to choose between, quote, favor resolution and favor performance on the PS4 Pro through a new setting called graphics preference. When favor resolution is selected, we aim for the highest resolution possible, capping frame rate at 30 frames per second. In favor performance mode, we increase the frame rate cap to 60 frames per second and render at 1080p. One interesting note is that when favoring resolution on a TV that only supports 1080p, the game will super sample from higher resolution using the console's hardware. Because of this, the 1080p output will look sharper in this mode than it normally would, again thanks to the power of the PS4 Pro. And I do want to just close out talking about the Xbox One X support. Back in May, one of the producers on Borderlands 3 did say they were aiming for 60 FPS on the Xbox One, while for the normal Xbox One, the frames will be locked at 30. 1 month later, in April, it was confirmed by the Microsoft Store that Borderlands 3 does support 4K and HDR, but only on the Xbox One X, so not on the original Xbox or the Xbox One S. And we still haven't gotten a frame rate update. Most likely, I could see a system similar to the PlayStation modes of performance versus resolution, but that's still really yet to be seen. You could probably take most of the things that were said about PlayStation and apply them to the Xbox One X. I bet we'll see very similar performance, if not usually a little bit better on the Xbox itself, but we'll just have to wait and see. That's where I'm going to end this video though. Huge shout out to Amino again for sponsoring this video. Make sure to like and share, subscribe for all things Borderlands, and I will see you guys in the next one.